Anvil, Hammer, Hatchet podcast.
Welcome to Anvil, Hammer, Hatchet, Episode 3.
The show
We're back.
where we bring you content like no other.
And with us today is Army Armstrong.
Hello. Glad to be here. It's another beautiful Sunday. And we also got Big Daddy Ross the Boss.
Good to be back, boys.
The boss's boss.
Another fine day in Santa Cruz. It's nice and sunny out there. Let's rock. Let's rock today.
It's cold, but it's
a little
sunny.
cold, but sunny.
And we got Chris, the engineer, the man behind the mic. Well, we're all behind mics.
The
But
guy with the bag.
you got the bag,
The legendary bag.
and you got the knobs.
That bag's becoming more famous than me.
The knob controller.
You've got knobs.
All right, so I guess to kick it off, we should probably start with what's becoming our signature segment. The one that we can't seem to avoid having to do every week.
Are you referring to our fuck-up section?
Yes, the legendary Don't Be CBA. Don't be CBA.
Bam.
Boom.
And this one, the first thing I want to address is probably proof that if nothing else, no one in this room is a very big Van Halen fan. Because we fucked that one up 2 weeks in a row. We were actually right the first time.
So set us straight. Give us the facts, Jack.
Well, I figured out the root of the problem. We were asking two different questions. I was trying to figure out which album was Sammy Hagar's first record. You were trying to figure out which album had the little smoking Cupid baby on the front. So we kept sort of recorrecting each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the information got completely twisted. So to answer your question, the Smoking Cupid cover was 1984.
Right.
And that was the one with Panama and all the
David Lee Roth.
David Lee Roth.
Okay.
And 5150, I'm trying to be really careful so I don't screw this one up again. 5150 was Sammy Hagar's first album that had, what, Higher and Higher? Wasn't that?
Yes.
Higher and higher.
Right Here, Right Now, was that on that one? Or was
I don't
that
know.
a different album? I'm not even going to start speculating about Van Halen because clearly I don't know much about them. Otherwise, we wouldn't have run into this before. The only other real email us please if I'm wrong, but the only other real error that I can think of that needed correction was Ross referred to MP3s as having gigahertz.
Gigahertz.
And I'm pretty sure
Which
he meant,
is not the case.
right.
It's gigabytes.
That's that's a huge MP3. Normally they're in megabytes.
Megabytes,
So, yeah,
okay.
a gigabyte would be a lot of audio.
Okay, yes.
But I think that's the only two that we really have.
We're going to make some more, so don't worry, folks.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll end up doing this segment quite often. So this is the third episode of Anvil Hammer Hatchet.
And speaking of
Round 3.
round 3, where'd you get that one at?
I have my ways.
That's nice. I like that.
Fart.
But I was going to say, speaking of fuck-ups, bringing back to something that one of our 4 listeners, Keith, brought up, was the fact that Dave Mustaine...
We have more than 4 listeners.
We have 4.
Pessimist.
There's 4.
There's 4.
And I know them all.
And they're all important.
They're all very important.
Speaking of important, let's just get it out
Let's
of the
get out of the way.
We've had some people who have been really supportive of this little endeavor. Andrew and Keith and Zan.
And Zan?
I mean, those guys have been really encouraging in us continuing to do this.
Absolutely.
So, and I want to bring up my buddy Jason
Jason,
down
right?
in
Yeah,
Texas,
absolutely.
who is I love that guy. Maybe we could get him on one day. He's a funny son of a bitch.
That would be a blast.
And I've got some great stories with him. He and I used to go. We used to go see Rigor Mortis. We saw Rigor Mortis together, and we also saw, what was that band with Jason McMaster? Sport and Woody. Who sang that song?
Who was that?
It had the evil clown on the front of the cover. And it was kind of,
definitely lost on
never
me.
mind.
That is
It was a
lost on
Texas
me.
thing, but
Okay.
they did receive some pretty serious notoriety. Anyway,
I
so
also want
thanks,
to have a little shout out to Treg and Ebony and little baby JJ. Thanks for
Oh.
listening, guys.
Treg.
Yeah.
Treg, listen.
The Tregster listens.
Nice.
So that is proof that we are being heard by alien life forms.
We are, yes. Star people, they call them.
Treg. Treg would be fun to have on the show as well.
Oh, we can get him on here.
That shouldn't be too hard to accomplish at all. But before we go too far off on a tangent, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's been super supportive.
Yeah, for sure.
And one of the ways we've been getting support is people responding to what we're asking at the end of the show. If there's anything you want us to talk about, let us know. And one thing that Keith mentioned was
Dave Mustaine at the Grammys.
Yeah, he wanted something addressed. So here we go. Let's address the question.
The deal was, and I didn't watch the Grammys, and we talked about how we didn't give a shit about the Grammys last week.
Yes.
We might have talked about the Grammys a little too much, but...
Did we? I don't remember. Vodka will do that. But anyway...
We talked a long time considering it's something that none of us give a shit about.
Right.
But
True.
So Dave got a Grammy for, I think it was Best Metal Performance, I think. And I think Gojira and like there were some other bands that I'm not familiar with were the thing. And they won. And
12th time nominated, right? Wasn't that the deal?
I don't know how many times they were nominated.
Which means he lost 11 other times or something.
Yeah, he's been kind of swept under the rug. But when they, like the house band was playing the music for them to come down, instead of playing Megadeth, they played a horrible version of Master of Puppets. I mean, and not just horrible, like butchered. Like it was
awful. They
butchered it.
He was actually very much a gentleman when he came up to do his acceptance speech. He didn't make reference to it or refer to it at all. He didn't say a word about it, but obviously people brought it up afterwards, and when he was asked about that, he said it was the worst version of Master of Puppets he's ever heard.
Yes.
And I agree with him.
I listened to it just to see.
It was terrible.
It was awful.
Yeah. Yeah, again, if you're getting a Grammy, you might as well shut up and take it, right?
Just play fucking Megadeth in the background. I mean, that's all you have to do.
Anything else besides Metallica.
Christ.
Well, I think they probably were just trying to play some popular... I don't think they thought it was a Megadeth song. They were just like, pick a popular heavy metal song, and somebody went, Master of Puppets, because that was the only one they knew, without even realizing that this guy got kicked out of that band. That might actually be a little insulting.
At least it wasn't Faith No More.
He said he didn't care. He said he was just like, yeah, whatever. I didn't even really hear the music. I was just like, walking out.
More caught up in the moment.
So good for him. Good for Dave. Long time coming.
Oh, yeah, he deserved it.
It'll be a good paperweight.
Yeah.
He's definitely he's always struck me as one of those guys. I mean, he's been extremely successful. How many decades has he been in a successful metal band? Megadeth's put out
They've been around
far
since
more albums
84, 83, 84, whenever.
Am I wrong about this? Megadeth's put out a lot more albums than Metallica, haven't they?
I don't know.
But they were...
I know the first three were the best three.
If you know the answer to that question, let us know. They're hugely successful, and I still have always gotten the impression that he feels like they weren't big enough just because Metallica is sort of inarguably a bigger band
right.
than them.
More mainstream, I would have to say.
Definitely, especially after the Black Album. I mean, when they got...
And Megadeth fucking shreds.
Well, I'm sure they have probably equal as big fan base. It's just Metallica's more mainstream kind of...
Recognizable to people who aren't even necessarily big fans, but they know them.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Megadeth shreds.
I love Megadeth. One thing I have against them is the singing. Sometimes... What's the lead singer's name?
Dave Mustaine.
Yes. Yeah. His voice kind of gets to me sometimes, a little bit.
Yeah, I know
but
a lot
not to
of
the
people...
point where I turn it off. I love it.
You feel the same way? Doesn't his voice bug you a little bit? I remember us talking about that.
It's pretty nasally.
Yeah,
I like it. I'm good.
It's nothing that I would turn off the music for.
Hello, me.
Yeah,
I mean,
meet the real me.
I mean,
dance like minarets.
But I mean, people, you're gonna have your taste. I don't care for the really high pitched vocals that were really popular in metal in the 80s. Like, I was never a big Dio fan.
My wife would agree with you on that.
Iron Maiden, Bruce Dickinson.
Not a big Dio fan.
That high pitched. I don't even like the Black Sabbath with Dio in it. To me, that isn't even Black Sabbath.
Heaven and Hell! I got to see them with Judas Priest.
Rad.
Fantastic.
The third incarnation.
I like Dio. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna flat out say I like Dio.
Oh, I like him too.
Hey, I'm
sorry, Dad. I know you don't like Dio, but I like Dio.
I'm clearly in the minority. I mean, he was very successful, very talented. Obviously, supposedly was the inventor of the the metal horns.
Supposedly.
Yes.
Or not,
Well,
not the inventor, but the one who brought it to the Kavorka.
Yes.
That his
grandma.
Right, who was, I guess, Romanian or
Right,
something.
the evil eye.
Yes.
Right. You know, yeah.
So
good for Grandma. So
Good for
Grandma's
Grandma
really the
rocks.
one that brought it down.
Mm-hmm.
Romania. We
Romania.
teach you fucking metal.
and at least 1/3 of this group is throwing up the horns every week, so it's
Exactly.
stuck. It's stuck that much later.
We went out, Ross and I went out Friday night
Yes.
after work, and we went and saw, I have a buddy who I used to be in a band with, Nat Canyon. We were in a band called Symptoms of a Wet Guitar. Long name, amazing results. But he's in this new band called the Avizev Band, and so...
Do you have any idea what that name means?
I think it's the guy's name.
Oh, okay, all right.
I think.
All right. So
I know
The
his
lead
name.
guitarist.
So it's like the Dave Matthews
Yes.
Band, or
Right. And his name's Avi. They call him Avi. So I don't know if his last name is Zev or where that whole thing came about. But anyway, we went to the show at Coaster's Bowling Alley in the bar.
High class establishment.
High class, which is always fun. It was really crowded. There was a lot of loud, obnoxious people there. Right.
Anybody want to dance?
There was women like groping themselves like right in front of us. It was kind of weird.
A normal set of events.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you, Ross, what was your take on the band
I liked it. It was
overall?
I enjoyed it. You know, the guys seemed to work really well together, considering they didn't have a great PA, and the singer can really hear himself, which was also pretty impressive. As you know, you're playing live, you can't hear yourself.
Did you like his voice?
they didn't have a monitor for the
They did have monitors.
They
where,
did,
where the
but he
sound
was-
is coming back at him.
Well,
and,
see, the funny thing is the sound guy had an iPad, so
wireless.
He was running all the board. I mean, he had a regular board, but he was running the sound on his iPad. So he was walking around the room, like adjusting levels and stuff, and it just didn't seem like.
Yeah.
that's a bad idea if you're a sound engineer to be walking around, because the
Yeah.
sound's changing depending on where you're standing in
Exactly.
the room. You have to be stationary.
And that's one thing you notice. As soon as he walked to one side of the room, he'd change levels and then come to the other side and be like, oh, that doesn't sound right. Let me change it again.
Yeah, the bass isn't heavy. The bass is heavy in this corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to stay still. So,
But anyways,
so clearly not a professional engineer.
I
but
really did enjoy, the
what kind of
band.
music is it?
I don't know. How would you classify that? As poppy? No,
It's definitely,
it's like rock, kind of
it's rock, pop. I would say it's like
progressive.
progressive 80s rock pop
Yeah.
ish, something like that, with like
I feel like I know less about what they sound like than I did before I asked.
I hate generalizing.
Yeah,
it, but
exactly.
Because there's really no way. It was just rock. They did rock stuff.
As Ross Perry would say, that's a good band. It's worth the listen. Definitely. I enjoyed it.
Good
There was-
musicians.
Absolutely. Those guys worked well together. Really good together.
4-piece?
Four-piece.
Four-piece.
Four.
I believe so.
Yeah,
The
four-piece.
one person I kind of picked out was the bass player. Really stood out. That guy.
Solid bass player.
That guy could play. I mean, no pick, no nothing.
Yeah, he was all
It looked
over
like
the
his
place.
fingers were about to catch on fire.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
I've been in the studio with that guy before and listened to him lay
Do
down.
you happen
the
to know his
tracks.
name?
I don't know his name. I don't
Mhm.
remember his name. Nice guy that we talked about, Frank Zappa. 'Cause
Absolutely.
He's a Zappa dude.
Yeah.
Do you know his name is not Avi?
His name is not Avi.
He's not Avi.
But the Avi guy is, from what I understand, and I know very little about him, but I think he's a music teacher, and he's fucking shreds on the guitar. I
Yeah.
mean, he just knows his shit. You
Okay,
know?
so it's a 4-piece, but there are two guitars.
Two guitars,
Okay.
and my buddy Nat Canyon is the other guitar player, the rhythm guitar player, also a very, very good guitar player.
And you were in a band with him?
I was in a band with him, yeah, years ago.
Well, let's talk about this one for a second, Chris. What did you think of the guitar he was playing?
The Paul Reed Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had two of those.
Mm-hmm. Two of them.
He busted out two. I don't know. I thought it was weird because whenever we played together, it was always Gibson, Fender.
Right.
That's all that he would play. But he had something to say about like tonal qualities with this band.
At some point down the line, he started making more money. PRS
yeah.
guitars
Just a little
are
bit.
very
It's
expensive.
only 2,000.
Yeah, a couple grand for a guitar. But I mean, he's
a lot
an attorney.
a lot of the reason people don't play them is because they can't afford them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. They're nice guitars. They're great guitars, but not my style.
Yeah,
Would I own one? Sure. Would I buy one?
Yeah.
Maybe.
If you had just extra $2,000
Yeah.
sitting around,
Yeah, just floating around there.
I'd still use it for something else.
I'd
Rainy day
rather-
fund.
I'd rather buy two 2 Gibsons than one Paul Reed Smith.
Yeah, or you could
absolutely.
buy, a nice
Or 3
Gibson for $2,000.
Yeah.
You could buy like a dope Les Paul Custom or something, or half of a dope Les Paul Custom.
You could put down payment on.
Yeah.
But they are legendary guitars, and so I can see how if you're a professional player and you can afford it, you would go ahead and
Absolutely.
put the money out for
Why
that.
not? Beautiful workmanship, too.
Yeah, they're really nice.
They're really pretty.
And they had the guitar rack in the back with all the guitars lined up,
Mm-hmm.
which that was the same guitar rack that we used to use in our
You
band.
were telling me
There
that.
was always like 7, 10 guitars in there. Complete overkill.
Well, if you could have it, why not?
Yeah,
it
was all about the show.
It's like a drummer with a gong. Why not?
I mean, I think there are some bands that have a guitar for every song because of tunings and the tone and the specific tone for that
Right.
song.
Well,
So they just, the guitar tech just swaps them out.
That's
every time
another
they
thing
change
that he was
songs.
saying was he could not play his Telecaster with that group because it's such a high end. It just kind of blends in with it.
Right.
Yeah, he had to find the mid-tones.
Not too much twang to the picking. So.
Right. Yeah. We got some sad news today.
Oh.
Not to be a downer.
Yeah,
right.
no, this morning.
But,
yeah, we do need to.
This was
We should
the
address that.
the day I guess Bill Paxton died either today or yesterday, aged 61. Died of complications from surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so weird.
And you guys, I know you both are fans.
Oh, absolutely.
Near Dark, Aliens.
What's so strange is that we've actually been talking about him lately. He's come up a few times.
Well, yeah,
way more than normal.
I think it was because we talked about he was on Mark Marone's podcast.
Maron.
Or
Mark
Mark
Maron.
Maron. Why do I call him Marone?
It says
Hey,
it
fucking
would-
Marone.
Hey, Marone.
Hey.
It's Maron, asshole.
Mark. But I think you and I were talking about that because I was listening to him on that show, and he's super humble, awesome guy.
And obviously had a new. I don't know what it is, but he clearly would have had a new project coming out. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been doing a press tour and ended up on Maron's podcast. So I mean, things were still. It's not like
he didn't just fade away. He was working on
he's
something.
been a steady figure. I mean, my first recollection of him is as Chet.
Weird Science.
In Weird Science.
That's
where
right,
He was
huh?
Did you spit in this?
the ultimate dude bro douchebag.
Yes.
And he was hilarious in that. He was hilarious and intense as well in Aliens, where he said the most over tweeted, over posted, over Facebooked thing today.
Game over, man. It's game over.
I mean,
My favorite.
That's the line.
all the clever original snowflakes have put that on whatever social media page that they're using.
You're
So.
welcome.
I did it. That was the first thing I posted this morning on
But
Facebook.
you know what? I'm pretty sure you probably were the first one to do
Yes.
it.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't even care. But yeah, that's too bad. Big Love. Did you guys ever watch Big Love?
I never did,
No.
but I know a lot of people who I knew a girl who was obsessed with that show, and
Big
I
Love,
think a
what's
big
that
part of it was because of his performance. It's about Mormon.
Yeah, polygamy in Utah. He's like a modern day polygamist. He has 3 wives, and he's
Sister wives. The
sister wives, and he owns
That's
that's
what they refer to him as.
Gotcha.
he owns like this huge like hardware place or some sort of Home Depot sort of thing in Utah or something, and it's all the trials and tribulations of being a polygamist and weird stuff with the other Mormon polygamy families and stuff in Utah, and it's actually really good.
No, I bet it sounds like I think that the Mormons are an interesting kind of thing to talk about.
It's definitely a topic that hasn't really gotten addressed by the media that much as far as television shows or movies about it. I mean, I know.
But then again, we're not going into religion right now.
What was
by
the
any
old?
means.
Oh no, I was more just talking
Yes, absolutely.
about TV. Like what was the movie with? Wait, I don't think they were Mormons. I think it may be Amish. Witness, the Harrison Ford movie.
Oh, yeah.
What was that? What were they about? Was
that was Amish?
It was Amish.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, God, what was the name of the show? I can't believe I'm blanking on
Dead
it right
Space.
now. What's Dead Space?
No, I'm saying
Dead
getting
Space.
Dead Space. Think,
no.
Chris,
Okay.
think.
No, I thought you were going to talk about the video. I thought you were mentioning the video.
No.
Wow, there weren't Amish people in it. That's in space.
Well, the one
Were you
Amish movie
thinking-
I always comes to me is, I don't know if you guys have seen this, Orgasmo.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that? Where
That's a great movie.
Where the Mormon comes to, I think it's L.A. or something like that, and he tries to make a living, but he ends up becoming a porn star / action hero.
Yeah, cock
Great.
double,
Exactly.
stunt cock, stunt cock.
I haven't seen that movie in so many years, but I do need to go back and watch that again.
It's a great movie.
Ron Jeremy's in that movie.
It is. Yes, he is. Mm-hmm.
That's Trey Parker from.
Yes, from South Park.
Yes,
South Park
It
and
wasn't coming to me.
Yeah, and Team America.
Yes.
And they've done...
Also, Cannibal the Musical.
Cannibal.
If you haven't seen that one, also a great freaking movie.
But they've also... That's the second... They may
They
have
were
done
in
more
college
that
when
I'm
they
not
made
aware, that I'm not aware of, but that's the second thing they've done that dealt with Mormons.
Yeah.
Right, because the Book of
They've
Mormon.
always been
Mormon.
fascinated with that.
The Book
and
of
also,
Mormon is a hugely successful
play
that's been on Broadway for years now, and they have a touring
It's actually in San
cast
Francisco now, too.
Those guys can do no wrong in my
Yeah,
mind.
I mean...
You know, Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Oh, basketball? I mean, come on. Really? Really?
And they pretty much do it without compromise.
Wow.
I mean, they don't. They've been
write
able
with
to do what they want and
Pure
just
abandonment.
completely get away with
Not
it.
only that, they won a fucking Grammy for Blame Canada.
Oh, and you know what?
Did they really?
Yeah, or whatever.
Not only were
maybe
that,
not a Grammy,
Best
whatever
comedy
some
song
sort
or something.
Of, yeah.
Not only that, they accepted the award on LSD.
Really?
They were tripping balls when they went upstage and collecting. They were dressed in women's, dresses
I
and all
remember
that.
that, yeah.
They were tripping their
Oh, that's
minds
beautiful.
out.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, what I was going to say was there's this show called Banshee that was on Cinemax that takes place in Pennsylvania, which is a huge place. There's a huge Amish culture there, and so they're heavily featured in the show, and their culture actually affects the plot points and stuff. One of the most violent shows I've ever seen. One of the most sexual shows. I mean, every episode, somebody's getting their ass kicked into the dirt or killed, and somebody's fucking.
The Amish get down, huh?
Well, not all the characters are Amish. The main cast of
Jebediah,
characters.
you slept with my wife. I will cut off your head with my hatchet now.
The main cast of characters aren't Amish, but it's definitely there's a background of the Amish culture in the show that informs the way the show is. There's two of the characters are people who had either left the faith or been shunned, which if you're not following their cultures right, they will kick you to the curb. One thing I always thought was really cool about that is sort of it's a cultural thing, but much like Judaism, it's also a religious thing. And they have a system where they give you a chance to
It's funny you say that. I was just about to bring that up. Where, like, before you commit totally to...
I forget what that day's called, though.
Yeah, it's a year, and it's called Rumspringa.
That's what it is.
Rumspringa, yeah, that's what it is.
Rumspringa.
Rumspringa.
Where they actually go...
2 shots, please. Rumspringa.
Here's what we believe, and you haven't been exposed to much else, so go out, check out what other people are doing, and if you're down with that, stay.
We've already conditioned you up to your 18 years, so
Exactly.
we're going to give you a couple of months to go out and do whatever you want.
Have fun.
Or a year, I guess. Is it a year? Is that actually
I believe it's a year. And
it reminds me of that...
then they have the option to either come back or stay out. The one thing that they do say is if you stay away...
You can't come
Yeah,
back.
you're gone. You're gone. That's
Don't talk to us.
Don't call the fan. Well, no calls because they don't use phones.
Yeah.
But they do have those weird, funky loopholes, though.
Don't smoke message me.
Their thing is like, I can't use a cell phone, but you're not Amish, so can you call the store for me? I mean, they will. Or
I need 3 cartons of cigarettes.
I'm Amish, so I can't drive a car. You're not Amish.
I'll send the buggy.
Can you give me a ride?
I need a ride.
No, we'll send the
one time.
buggy up with a note.
Well, they do take buggies, but I mean, they don't. They will find little loopholes, like they will catch a ride from somebody who's not Amish. So they just can't drive, but technically they're not using...
Interesting.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
What was that movie, that bowling movie?
Kingpin, man.
Kingpin. Oh.
Mr. Munson.
I've never...
Yeah, I milked your cow for you.
We don't have a cow.
We have a bowl.
Took her a while to get her warmed up, but she really went.
I've never seen it. I've never seen
Oh,
it.
are you kidding me?
Do yourself a favor, man.
There are so many movies that I've never seen Titanic.
And I forget who plays Ishmael, the tall...
Randy Quaid.
Yeah, Randy Quaid. Mm-hmm.
Who has gone, from what I understand, completely off the deep end.
Really?
Yeah.
Like in the bad way?
Yeah, he's like lost his shit. He's like completely. For a while, a couple years ago, he was posting videos of he and his wife having sex on the internet, and he's all gone weird conspiracy. Have you heard about that?
The government's out to
No.
get him.
Yeah.
He actually fled the United States because he thought the government was. He went to Canada,
Yeah.
and then I guess illegally crossed the border back into the United States and got arrested. I mean, what he's talking about is no exaggeration. He's way off the deep end.
Wow, I did not even expect that at all.
Posting videos, ranting online.
Right.
Wow.
And I don't know.
And it's too bad because I always,
He was a great actor. He was funny.
He's always like, whenever I think of Randy Quaid, I think, hey, Clark, shitter's full.
Shitty's full.
You know?
Who wants chicken?
Christmas Vacation.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I got some change buried in the yard.
Right.
And I don't even know if Dennis Quaid has addressed it. Do you know? Have you heard anything?
I haven't heard anything from Dennis Quaid in 20 years.
If you were interviewing Dennis Quaid, is there anything else you would ask him about other than what the hell's up with your brother?
Yeah, right? Yeah, thanks for doing Inner Space.
Yeah, that one really.
Where's your brother?
What happened to him? What's going on?
So I love your work, but what's your brother been up to?
Any chance he's going to be in Independence Day 3?
Okay.
Oh, speaking of movies, last night at like 10 o'clock or something when the kids were in bed, I watched, I downloaded John Wick, which I had never seen before, and I know John Wick 2 is out.
Is that Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen John the first?
I have not.
Oh man,
It's fucking badass.
Is
What
it?
a sleeper surprise!
It really is
I'm
a
sorry, I
sleeper.
can't get over Bill and Ted's Awesome Adventure.
Yes,
I know.
you can. If
You
you
know?
start watching this, yes, you can.
Yeah.
It's that good. It's great.
And
All right.
it's definitely tailored to Keanu Reeves' acting style.
It plays to his strengths.
Actually, I actually seen a recent video of Keanu Reeves in a shooting range. It's like a SWAT style shooting range. That guy
Then you will like this movie.
That
because-
guy can actually, I would not pick a fight with that guy with a gun.
A lot of the footage that's coming out now is training. It's basically training footage from when they were filming John Wick. There's recently released videos of him doing martial arts as well.
Yeah.
And it was all training for this movie.
I know Kung Fu.
Or rather, retraining. Because he's trained martial arts for The Matrix. And
Well, if you're me, then what number am I thinking of right now? 69, dudes!
yeah, this one will, it won't now because I'm sure you've heard from a lot of people how good it is, but see John Wick. And
I will.
I'll check it out.
I
I'll check it
can't
out.
wait to see John Wick 2.
I
Is it
was
on
actually
Netflix, or did you pay for it?
no, I don't. It was on demand.
On demand, okay.
But I was really surprised. I was like,
Good.
"Fuck it, why not? Why not?" I haven't watched an action.
And it did not
Thriller.
disappoint.
No, it was great.
Good, all right, I'll check it out.
The action is once it gets going after the opening scene, and there's some action in the opening 20-30 minutes too, but once they pull the lid off the can and just unleash it, it's pretty nonstop.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
great.
And it's not just an action movie. Like the plot twists are good. It's not just like a revenge story. I mean, it is a revenge story, but with good plot twists.
Oh, absolutely, cool.
So well worth it.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
And the act that he was seeking revenge for, I wanted revenge for that.
The dog.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry.
Oops.
Let's just say the horrible act at the beginning that led to the carnage that followed. I wanted everybody.
I bet
everybody to die.
I bet
Yeah.
every PETA activist was fucking masturbating their way all the way. They were so happy. Kill the fucker.
Kill him.
Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see the second one.
Uh-oh.
I've heard nothing but good things. But okay, so it's
Smoke break.
been about a half an hour. Well,
For me, it's a smoke break.
smoke and other things.
We'll be back.
Perhaps.
Shot break.
All right. So
Back to the green room.
We're gonna sign off. We'll be back in just a bit. Be right back.
Peace.
Ow!
And welcome back. It's the AnvilHammerHatchet podcast. We're back from the break. That track you hear in the background is none other than yours truly.
Army Armstrong.
Yeah, they're not real drums, but I don't care. It was a fun track. That was my take on That was my take on Fu Manchu. If any of you listen to Fu Manchu, do you guys? I know Chris knows Fu Manchu.
You guys,
you know Fu Manchu.
You guys opened that book up for me.
So that was my my attempt at recreating that sort of sound.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're back from break.
Speaking of that sound, there's something that had nothing to do with the show, but I wanted to recommend to you guys. Eagles of Death Metal has a new documentary on HBO.
Oh, nice.
Called Nos Amis, which
Is,
I guess
is this
Were they the ones that had the terrorist attack on them?
post-terrorist attack.
That's what it's about.
Okay.
The first bit of it is more about how Josh Homme and Boots Electric, the main guy in
Mustache
Eagles,
Man?
yes, yeah, how their friendship started and how he was leading a really straight life and how his life took a right turn and he ended up in the music industry. But the majority of it deals with that terrorist attack, how it dealt with, or how it affected them and how they dealt with it. And it's fantastic. Definitely see if you have access to HBO or HBO Go, because that they, I guess, produced it or whatever.
And if you haven't ever listened
but
to...
dude, it's great, man. It was a really good, really interesting documentary, and it dealt a lot with that desert sound culture,
right.
But it's way more than that.
And if you've never listened to Eagles of Death Metal, I recommend it.
And one thing I don't know much about what happened at the terrorist attack. It was in France, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Was it against the band itself, or just kind of a political?
There were multiple attacks that occurred almost simultaneously across France, and one of the locations that one of them took place was at the club that they were playing.
Wow.
I believe.
So it was just a random coincidence they happened to be playing that night.
Yeah, I mean, it probably could have been any band playing that night.
Yeah,
They just I fucking hate this band.
a room full of people.
It had way less to do, I believe, with it's pure speculation. I think it had less to do with the particular band than it did with people who were enjoying entertainment and enjoying music, and I don't want
and just some crazy motherfucker with a gun.
Yeah,
a few of them, and I don't really want to go down that road.
No, not at all.
I don't want to talk about.
We're just getting the gist
politics
here. No,
or religion.
that's not the point of this podcast.
Yeah, it's just not about social commentary.
Thank God.
Take it easy and let the shoulders relax.
But it is
Chris.
about music and movies. And music movies or documentaries, we do go down that road a lot. So there's a good one that I can recommend. It's called Eagles of Death Metal Nos Amis, which I believe means my friends.
So where's the band based out of? Where are they from?
Palm Desert, right?
I don't know where the Eagles Death Metal are from. I don't know. I know that.
I know they're from Palm Desert originally.
Right.
They're
Well, Josh Homme is from.
They're from America. They're an American band.
Queens of the Stone Age, and he does all these little offshoots.
I love Caius.
They all, him and Dave Grohl, and they all work together and do different projects. Speaking of different projects,
there's a documentary called. It's kind of hard to find a hard copy of it or anything, but it's on YouTube called Such Hawks, Such Hounds.
Oh yeah,
that covers that Palm Desert rock scene. Josh Homme is not in it.
I've seen that a few times. Brant Bork
is in it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how I heard from Caius was actually, random as it is, from a Anthony Bourdain interview. Yeah, I guess he was traveling with Caius for a while, and he was cooking with. Yeah, that's what I believe.
Are you sure?
I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, I don't know how that timeline works out.
I saw a picture of Anthony Bourdain.
Or maybe it was just like the guitarist or something like that.
I saw a picture of Anthony Bourdain and Iggy Pop. And
yes.
Anthony Bourdain had his shirt off and he had all
the tattoos. And Iggy's totally clean. Yeah. And you'd think it'd be the opposite.
They both look like fucking pieces of old leather.
Fucking leather saddles.
Well, there's definitely a connection there then, because Josh Homme did basically the most recent Iggy Pop album, which came out really recently. Josh Homme was the sort of brainchild behind that. He's the one who put the project together. He's playing all the guitar on it. It's guys from several different projects, I believe, but
Josh Homme.
There's definitely a Josh Homme Iggy Pop connection. So if there's a Bourdain Iggy Pop connection, then that would lead to a Josh Homme Bourdain connection. So that does make sense.
Well, Iggy Pop was a huge influence for Anthony Bourdain. and his writing and the way he
Iggy
lived.
Pop was an influence for
a lot of
everybody in
people,
rock and
yes.
roll.
For me,
Yeah, well, yeah.
yeah,
I want to be your dog.
I'm a big Iggy Pop fan.
I love Iggy.
And
I was gonna bring my guitar out this.
I actually,
We're gonna get to that.
I actually kind of came to the Stooges a little late, even though I always recognized who they were and how important they were, much like the Beatles and the Stones thing that Army and I had discussed, where you kind of had to pick a team, you kind of had to be, or you at least felt like you had to be a Stones guy or the Beatles guy, and when I was younger, I landed on the Stones.
Beatles.
When I got into
It was my first concert.
when I got into punk,
The Beatles.
No, the Stones. Not that
Yeah, no.
Yes, in 1960.
Old Man Ross. Yeah, no, dude. He saw his first concert was the Rolling Stones with fucking Pearl Jam.
What was all right?
It was-
let's
it was-
do this real quick.
Yes.
Hang on. Everybody stop.
Shut up.
Shh.
Again, most ridiculous thing ever said on a podcast is shut up. We're here to talk. Nobody shut up, please.
Ross,
Go on.
your first concert was the Rolling Stones.
It was the Rolling Stones, and Pearl Jam opened up.
There you go.
It was the Bridges to Babylon tour at the Oakland Coliseum, I believe. Yes, because it was open, and it was raining. And I was very young. Very, very. It was probably
How
maybe
young? Because you're
13,
How old are you now?
14?
28, 27, 28,
20,
29?
27, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't give him an extra year, man. We
Yeah,
get
wow,
old.
yeah,
We get
yeah.
old fast enough as it is.
Chris, what was your first concert?
My first concert was Men at Work
Oh, no. Do-do-do.
in 1981.
Who can it be now? Isn't that Men at Work, right?
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
Who can it be knocking
Let me
on
ask you this
my
one question. Did you chunder during the show?
No, because I was like 11 or 10 or something like that. I basically went to see Men at Work because Mom couldn't get a babysitter. So she had tickets to the show.
Unlucky you.
So yeah, guess who got to go see Men at Work? And they were great. They're a good band. As
Did
far
you
as
have a
pop bands.
Vegemite sandwich?
No. But I have had Vegemite.
Ugh.
It is fucking atrocious.
It's the worst condiment in the world.
My friend Darren, when I was a kid, he was an Aussie who had lived here for most of his life, but he did spend the early part of his life in Australia, and
2 days ago, I saw a tanker that could hold that rig.
he was having.
You want to get out of here? You talk to me. Sorry, had to.
Mad Max,
Please,
if you don't
Chris,
know.
Hashtag Mad Max. I hope they do a sequel,
sequel?
to the most recent
That
Mad
was a
Max.
sick
It was a
film.
great movie,
Mhm.
visually stunning.
To Valhalla!
And much like John Wick, which we were talking to about earlier, not super hinging on the plot. There was a lot more to it than just the story. I mean, a simple plot that's easy to follow, but keeps you engaged, visually stunning, kind of non-stop.
It really was well done.
Yeah, and that's the way John Wick was.
Right.
Where, I mean, the plot was, some assholes from the guy's past. Spoiler alert, if you don't want any spoilers
Keep
for the
listening.
first John Wick, phase out now and come back in about
No,
a minute
fuck
and a
that.
half.
No,
2 minutes
don't
or
phase
whatever.
out. Keep listening.
Fuck spoilers. Fuck that.
You know what you signed up
You know what,
for
you're
when you
right,
listen to this podcast.
because that movie came out
Long
a long
time
time
ago.
ago, and if you haven't seen it now, fuck you.
Whatever.
shit.
And besides,
So-
whatever.
So some assholes from this guy's past come back and kill his dog, and so
Assholes.
he decides to pull himself out of retirement.
And because
and
the
just
reason he's so
wreak
pissed off about people
havoc
killing his dog,
is because his dead girlfriend gave
his
it to him.
dead wife gave him
Wife.
his dog is the last
The
thing
last
that he
thing-
has.
the last shred he had of his ex, or his deceased ex.
Yeah.
So he unleashes terror across those who have wronged him.
With the Russian mafia.
Right, man. It really was a sleeper of a good movie.
I agree.
That when it
I
came
agree
out,
completely.
it did not have a lot of heat, and it was really word of mouth. Like people going, "Yeah, you know that John Wick movie that came out? You really should watch it."
Have you ever seen that movie Sleeper?
People were really skeptical though about John Wick.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
Well,
like
I mean,
when-
Speed. Speed ruined everything for me.
Have you seen
On a bus.
Have you seen Speed 2?
Thank you. I walked out of that fucking movie.
There's not.
Oh yeah.
No.
And boy, does it makes Speed look
Party
like
on the beat, bro.
it makes Speed look like a fucking
Ridiculous.
masterpiece.
Yeah, Speed 2 was fucking
And wasn't
ridiculous.
Sting in Speed?
No.
I believe for a second.
No.
No, he wasn't.
No.
It wasn't Dune though.
It was
Dune.
Dune. That's what I'm.
The
Yeah, totally
original
different.
Yeah,
Dune.
you're way off
I'm
base.
way off
Man.
base. Wasn't that guy on that show?
Have you seen the original Dune?
You really have to call me out there? No, I have not.
Oh,
With
David,
the guy from Twin Peaks.
I have not. I'm
with
sorry, Sean.
Kyle
I'm not.
MacLachlan.
which
Yeah.
is David Lynch's sort of version of Martin Scorsese and either Robert De Niro or Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right.
How Scorsese or Tim Burton and Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Each
Each director has their go-to person.
They pick their favorites. These guys that they're leading men that they want to work with. And David Lynch, Kyle MacLachlan was David Lynch's his star. Blue Velvet. He was in Blue Velvet. Have you seen that?
She wore blue velvet. Wow.
I feel like I'm being serenaded
Dude,
right now.
Dennis
That
Hopper,
was lovely.
You are sexy. Dennis Hopper also appeared in Blue Velvet. He's amazing. Dennis
Pabst
Hopper.
Blue Ribbon. Fuck that shit. No, it was Heineken. What did he say?
God,
He
you're
said,
putting me on the spot.
Heineken. Fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
I was more focusing on his.
I've smoked too much weed.
On his oxygen tank
Oh,
that he
right,
would huff
right.
on to get high. Dude, Dennis Hopper, wow, that guy's friggin' amazing.
Yeah, he's great.
I can't. He was also on a
Easy-
TV show at the end of his run. Yeah, Easy Rider.
Easy Riders.
Oh yeah, man. And,
Or Easy Rider.
And
yeah.
that's Nicholson at
Yeah.
his finest,
And Peter
at his
Fonda.
heyday. Yeah, that's a great movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah. But so if you haven't seen
To me,
Easy Rider or Blue Velvet or Dune or John Wick, dude, people, if you haven't seen those movies, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life?
Living your life.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Your life is boring.
Do yourself a favor.
Your life sucks. Just sit down and watch the.
I think that question could go the other way around as well.
But if movie, I mean,
what are you doing with your life?
Why watching movies that are way more interesting than my day-to-day boring bullshit?
Right.
That's why people watch films.
Here's a random
It's
question.
an escape from their boring day.
Does anybody remember Mystery Science Theater 2000?
Oh God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
God,
What, The Thing? Or
Tom T. Robot? Was
Yes.
that one of the? Yeah,
I believe so,
and,
yes.
the main guy. I
never-
believe his name was Joel.
I never
No,
got into that.
I don't think so.
I never watched
Well, there
it.
was two actually. There were two main.
I thought there were three. I thought there was like a robot, a dude, and like
The
another-
bird robot.
No, I
The gumball
meant
machine.
the actual human involved. I'm pretty sure there was
What was his
two
name?
main guys, and I believe the first one's name was Joel. And they're going back to do that.
I love that show.
They're doing that. Again.
It's like what we do when we watch a movie in the first place.
It's
just
hanging out with your buddies. You're taking the piss out of a shitty movie that like you would with Speed.
I walked out of the theater in that movie.
But no, you walked out of the theater on Speed 2.
Speed 2.
And who could blame you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
And
Sorry,
Sandra
Mystery
Bullock.
Science Theater 3000.
Oh.
What did you say? 2000?
2000.
Yeah, no, it was.
I thought 2000 was right.
No, MST3K
Oh, okay.
was
Yes.
how it was shortened.
But-
if you were going to hashtag it in the modern age, you would hashtag MST3K.
You're right, Joel Hodgson.
Hodgson. Yeah.
Coming back to
What a great shit talker, by the way.
Yes. Michael J. Nelson.
He'd fit
to
right
Speed
in with us.
to Speed 2 with Sandra Bullock, right?
Mhm.
Which I can't believe she did Speed 2. But I did work with her.
even-
I worked with her on a
Even
movie.
Keanu knew better than to do
Right.
Speed 2, but Sandra Bullock signed right up.
I need that money.
Get that money.
Get that money.
I worked on a movie with her.
Which movie?
It was Hope Floats. It was kind of a romantic,
Never saw it,
Comedy.
but I remember the title.
directed by Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker.
Really?
Yeah, you know Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah,
It had,
very, but I know him as
You
an
know you
actor.
fucked up, right?
Harry Connick Jr.
I know him as an
was in it.
actor, not a director.
Yeah, he directed it.
Wow, that's
and,
weird.
And Gina Rollins.
You wouldn't think that somebody who has the acting, his filmography, wouldn't necessarily lead you to think that he would want to direct a rom-com. So Flips was a rom-com, right?
I don't. Not your traditional.
What's a rom-com?
Romantic comedy.
Not your traditional.
Oh, wow. Yeah, thanks, hipster.
Yeah, picture Matthew McConaughey and Jennifer Aniston leaning against each other back to back with snarky looks on their face, like
Totes my goat.
Like this guy and this chick. That's your rom-com.
Okay,
Hugh Grant was sort of.
Andy McDowell, Hugh Grant.
He was, they were Matthew McConaughey. And McConaughey actually.
Also, who I have met with and spoken with on a few occasions.
McConaughey!
He's fucking great, dude.
Was he driving his Buick?
No.
Lincoln.
Lincoln, sorry.
As in Lincoln Lawyer, which was a
the funny thing is,
and then they were like, hey, you could be a spokesperson.
The funny thing with the Matthew McConaughey is he's like a huge Texas Longhorns fan.
Really?
Right, yeah. So I was bartending at this bar in Austin, and he came down. Casino El Camino was the bar. I love the bar. Anyway, he came down. He was hanging out, and he came up to the bar, and we were shooting the shit, and he was asking about some waitress that worked there that had a tattoo. But
cool guy though, right?
Yeah, no, I've always liked him. He was all right. Anyway, that was the night that whole naked bongo incident thing went down.
Really?
The night that he came into that bar.
Wait, hold on. Naked bongo incident.
Matthew McConaughey got videotaped, on his patio or something?
I don't know if he was videotaped, but he was arrested or the police came or something.
He was playing bongos on his patio naked. Because, What,
did he just get back from the moon towers?
Probably.
Party at the moon tower. Tell all your friends.
God damn, what a good movie.
Yeah, great movie.
Wow. Dazed and Party at the Moon Tower. But... yeah, and so that
Catch you later! What'd you just say?
Sorry.
So
all right.
That's sort of where... would you say that's the birthplace of his reputation as being like a super stoner?
I keep getting older, and they stay the same age.
No, I don't mean...
You know what I like about high school girls, man?
That was the role he was playing. I keep getting older, and they stay the same age. I'm gonna finish your quote for you, son.
That's right.
No, what I was gonna say was that. That was a role he was playing.
Finish him.
But I think that the bongo incident that you're referring to was what led to his reputation of being that guy in real life, where he was sort of became notorious as being a stoner hippie guy in his personal life.
Yeah,
that and running on the beach shirtless.
I like him.
That was kind of a meme before memes.
You like the pictures of him at the beach?
I understand him as a Texan. You know what I mean?
There's only two people that come from Texas.
Steers and queers. And you ain't got no horns on you, boy. Get the fuck out of here. That's a bunch of horse
Get off
shit.
my obstacle course, pal.
But there was a period. McConaughey kind of started off in like this artsy films, the Richard Linklater films.
What Richard Linklater film was
Dazed and Confused.
Oh, was it? Oh, that was Richard Linklater.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, man.
Richard what?
Richard Linklater.
Linklater.
He did Slackers.
Linklater or Linklater?
Did you ever see Slackers?
Slackers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, you gotta watch Slackers. That's an Austin film.
No, I think it's actually Slackers. The
Just
plural
Slacker.
was a different movie.
Oh, good. I thought they wrote a movie about me.
That kind of tried to capitalize on the Slacker phenomenon. But Slacker was an indie film that Richard Linklater did that inspired Kevin Smith to do Clerks.
Really?
Yeah, because it was done on
also
such
another great
a
commentary movie.
A low budget. Did really well in the indie film circuit. And when Kevin Smith saw that, he was like, "Wait, you can do that? You can make a movie by putting the budget on a fucking credit card? Well, I'm all in." And Clerks, goddamn.
Yeah,
and podcasts, goddamn.
And Slacker.
Man, you don't come. There's no bigger proponent of the podcasting world than Kevin Smith. He tells everybody,
the comic book man,
if there's something you want to get out of your head, just do a podcast, man. Just do it. If you feel like you want to say something.
And you know what the funny part is? He was Silent Bob. And he has a podcast.
Well said.
Right. He was Silent Bob in his roles and in his personal life. Cannot shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But he and I have that in very much in common.
No way. No way.
Jason Ficus.
Two people who won't shut up.
That's for you, buddy.
But Yeah, I'm nothing if not self-aware.
I know you're not.
But the Richard Linklater movies that McConaughey kind of got his start in, he got more popular and more mainstream, and started getting roles for, here's a handsome guy who's charming, and ended up in these rom-com roles, and apparently didn't realize that at the time. And at one point noticed that he was sort of being referenced in that dismissive way, and completely reevaluated his career.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, well, when the opportunity came up to do True Detective...
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that? The first season of True Detective.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I have not.
Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. Fucking amazing. It is a clinic.
Well, it seems
in
like a
acting.
good mix together right there.
A lot. The best.
It's gritty,
The best
man.
moment.
I'm sure.
Fucking gritty.
Yeah.
Well, and it's led to this huge resurgence in both of their careers because people remembered these two people are amazing actors.
Yeah.
Who possibly were taking lesser roles, but. Woody Harrelson's in the new Planet of the Apes. He's going to be in the Han Solo prequel that's coming out.
Woody Harrelson in Zombieland?
Fantastic.
Fucking kidding me?
But
I killed Bill Murray.
But great in a funny way. True Detective is not funny. It's a fucking drama. I mean, it's a police drama. It's a serial killer drama, and
it's heavy.
Very. And the plot, the sort of story of the whole thing gets lost behind the performances from those two actors. A lot of the big bang moments of that show are the dialogue moments, the diatribes that Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey go on. And it is so fucking impressive.
Yeah, when he's sitting in that room, like fucking smoking cigarettes and drinking beers, and he's like, "I'll tell you what I'll tell you what you want to know."
When the cops are interviewed.
Yeah. It's brilliant. It's great.
Yeah, you literally cannot tear your eyes off the
And
screen when they're going off.
I think that's the thing that I personally, and I hate to say this, but I kind of thought that Matthew McConaughey was kind of smarmy a little bit. But after watching,
that's what got marketed to you for those rom-coms.
Right.
So,
but after watching,
here's this cheeky, clever, handsome guy. Is he going to get the girl? I think he is.
Well, considering his number one line is, hey.
Yeah. Is it what?
Mm-mm.
Is that his number one line?
No, it's not. I fucked that one up. I apologize. I fucked that one up.
His number one line is...
All right.
All right.
There you go. Okay, we're covered. Don't have to put that in the blooper reel.
All right.
You got a joint, man?
It'd be
no, not on me.
if you did.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good
okay. Speaking of joints, I'm glad marijuana is legal in California. Finally.
It's a plus for it. Let's just hope the big man doesn't knock that one down.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is in debate right now, and so consequently, I think it's kind of a topic we should avoid. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just because it could lead down roads that I just really don't want to go down.
We do want to retain our employability.
Yeah,
that's true. I never touched devil's lettuce, ever.
For the moment, it's legal in California. I'm not a smoker, but I know a couple of guys who are. And so I'm glad it's legal, and I want it to be legal, and I'm not going to say any more than that, because anything else would sort of lead to
it's a
politics and political ramifications, and we're not about that. We're about, what was the name of the fucking movie? Dragonfire? Or Dragonheart? What was the name of the Matthew McConaughey, Christian Bale movie?
Yeah, it was a dragon movie.
Yeah.
No idea.
I never saw that movie.
God damn, it's so good.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, dude.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's awesome.
No way.
Yes, dude. It's
Matthew McConaughey in a dragon movie?
Oh, and Christian Bale.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
I
dude.
do remember parts of that.
You buy into it. Like how, because they sort of went out of their way to, in a detailed way.
We're just here to kill dragons, man.
No, they went
right.
out of their way to make it scientifically plausible. So by the time they do that at the beginning, you're all in. You buy it.
Genetically modified geckos and
more,
just turn into dragons.
I believe it more addressed to like the sort of evolution and biology of
Komodo dragon.
Of, dinosaurs, So you've got your flying reptiles like your pterodactyls, and then your large reptiles like your T-Rexes. So they addressed the science of it at the beginning to where
you're getting deep into this.
The plot point was that if these things had been hibernating for that many millennia, if they ever did awaken, we'd be fucked.
So what you're saying is this is a Darwin-approved movie.
They did their... I'm not saying it's scientifically accurate, but I'm saying they went out of their way to explain how this could sort of be possible. Which is all you need in a movie is suspension of disbelief.
Right.
You need to be able to buy it. And you want to buy it because, like I said, nobody's going to watch a movie of me going to a warehouse and packing boxes all day. You know why? It's fucking boring.
Hey, people watch...
Haven't you seen Employee of the Month?
Yeah, I was just going to say, the guy... what is it? What's that movie with the guy who rides the fucking, little biped roller scooter? Paul Blart Mall Cop?
Oh, fucking the Segway. The Segway, yes. Yeah. Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Didn't the inventor of the Segway actually die by riding a Segway off a cliff?
I don't know. But I know that our neighbors who don't listen to the AnvilHammerHatchet podcast show live next door, own the company that where tourists can come and rent those Segways and tour Santa Cruz.
If they don't listen to AnvilHammerHatchet, they're not really worth even considering or talking about. Those people don't exist. They're ghosts in my world.
By the way, our sponsors today are
Anvil, Hammer, Hatchet,
Marlboros, Tecate,
Coors, Banquet,
Coors, and Sharpie.
And actually, just to throw it out there, Behringer. A lot of the gear I have that enables us to record this podcast is Behringer equipment. As far as price points, affordability, and bang for your buck, worth for your dollar, Behringer's great. The mixer I use is Behringer. The mic I'm talking into right now is Behringer. People say, "Oh, you got to have an SM58." Their version of the SM58 is, in my opinion, flawless. Behringer's incredible. And also, another company that I consider quite amazing.
Tampax? I knew it, Chris.
Well, only once a month. Sweetwater.com. There's a music gear site called Sweetwater. I actually referred them to Army in a mailing list because as a musician...
And they called me. They actually physically called me.
I have a personal representative. His name is Dan. Every time I play...
Dan the Man?
There's no Dan the Man. There's only...
I'm not going to give you shit for free, but you can call me.
Well, that's a waste of my time.
I'll place your order for you.
There's no Dan. There's only Big Daddy Ross, the boss's boss. As far as I know, that's the only person who has that kind of credit.
Oh, you got an applause. That's fantastic.
Please, stop.
Please, don't make me take my pants off.
But no kid, I'm being 100% serious. I have a personal rep, Dan, who calls me every time I place an order just to check on things and make sure everything's okay, that I got everything, that I'm happy with the product.
Would you say that's quality customer service?
Their name is Sweetwater, and so they cleverly send you in the package when they mail you your order a bag of candy. Because it's sweet.
That's lame.
Sweet. Dude,
that's what? Dude, Sweetwater should be fucking some whiskey or something.
Right. That would be some
pocket shot.
That would be
a pocket shot of whiskey.
Water.
Sweet water.
But I'm saying as far as customer service goes, they're fantastic.
Was it candy corn?
Their customer service is amazing. Their availability, I rarely see. Actually, with them, I don't know if I've ever seen the out of stock, but will be shipping soon. Which means we're going to order it as soon as you place the order type of, you know what I mean? That I've never seen it with them. I've seen it with other companies. So if you're a musician, if you're a podcaster, if there's anything you need audio gear for, please go to sweetwater.com. They're a fantastic company.
Are they based like Middle America? Where are they from?
They're
I think they are in the Midwest.
Indiana?
That's Midwest, yeah.
Indiana, something like that.
I think something like that.
And I want to be really clear and really honest. we're not there yet where we have sponsors. Sweetwater is not paying me to say anything good about their company. They don't know who I am.
We're just happy customers.
The only person at Sweetwater who knows who I am
Is Dan.
That's exactly right. But so yeah, this is purely based on my experiences
Right on.
with them, my experiences with Behringer.
And I'll tell you, that is
Behringer, dude. They're fantastic.
It's a great company. They have really good PAs. They have really good bass amps. They have great microphones.
I'm a brand loyal guy.
But let's get off. Okay, we're not getting paid for this right now.
Can I just say something about Behringer? I don't know if I'm 100% on board with that. I don't.
You're a PV guy.
No, I'm not a PV guy.
And for the audience, I am flipping off Chris Arms. I'm flipping him off right now.
I can verify that.
I'm not a PV guy, but I know that Behringer does make some decent products, but maybe because the only reason I know that is
as a bass player.
I bought a bass amp from them. It was a 412 with a head.
Yes.
And I think it was 100 watt, or I don't know how many watts it was. Anyway, I found it was okay. It wasn't horrible. It worked.
Was it good for the money?
Yeah, for the money it was great.
How much did you spend on it?
That's a Behringer.
For the money, it was great. However, maybe my standards are a little higher, or maybe I require a little more. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if it was Ampeg or something like that.
Well, just name it.
And then you're going to spend Ampeg money,
right? But if you play through an Ampeg amp versus a Behringer amp, not saying that all Behringer amps are bad. That's not what I'm saying. Because I know that they do make decent stuff, and they give great fucking prices, absolutely. And their shit works.
Dude, Behringer, value for dollar is what I was talking about.
You can fucking put those through a storm.
Value for
dollar
is absolutely
those
right.
things can get put through a beating and still work.
And maybe I'm an asshole for bringing that up. I'm sorry. I'm just had to say it because I bought that Behringer bass amp, and I wasn't blown away.
Well, if you're bringing it to a pretty hardcore show or something that you really want to bring your Ampeg and risk somebody knocking into it.
I'm used to playing through an SVT, with 800 fucking watts.
I'm used to playing through an SVT. Money bucks over here with all this Ampeg money to shell out. Yeah, I'm saying that without Behringer, nobody'd be hearing this right now.
No.
And the Behringer equipment that we have right now.
All right, Behringer, if you want to sponsor us, well, I will humbly bow.
I will. Yes,
Behringer, if you want to sponsor us,
cock.
Well, Army.
Well, not that, but I'll take a shirt.
If you want to sponsor us, Behringer, Army just blew it.
Sorry, I blew the Behringer fucking plug. Oh well.
Come back, Behringer.
Is Behringer going to sponsor us? Yeah, not going to happen.
What about? All right.
But maybe,
what about Grand Legacy?
Maybe
no, Grand Legacy's got
maybe Matthew McConaughey can throw us a couple of bucks.
Yeah,
because we've definitely been sucking his dick for the last 15 minutes.
All right.
But yeah, seriously, whatever.
We should try to get him on.
That's gonna happen for sure.
Okay.
Hey, if you can get a good enough strain,
if you build it, they'll come.
If you can get a good enough strain, he'll probably come on.
That's true. Yeah.
Quick, short Matthew McConaughey story. Before I actually knew him, I was working on a movie. It was Hope Floats with Sandra Bullock. We mentioned that.
Okay.
Anyway, he was dating Sandra Bullock, around that time. So when we wrapped up with that movie, we were gonna film a short film for Sandra and Matthew, and I was supposed to play this movie executive or whatever, and we were going to be acting together, and it was going to be for Sandra for the wrap of this movie.
Right.
Never happened because they broke up, but it could have happened. I could have been in a little short with Matthew McConaughey.
That would have been.
It just didn't happen. And it's probably better because
you were too sexy.
I don't know how
you
to
probably
act.
got jealous. And...
I can't act my way out of a paper bag. Cheers. Let's do our shot.
Well, you're acting like an ass right now, so I disagree.
Thanks.
So the paper bag is gone. Hey, what the fuck, man? There we go.
This guy could not pick up.
I missed my shot.
Couldn't catch a cold if you tried.
So to speak.
To our audience, bottoms up.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'm just playing with you, baby. By the way, the actual title of the McConaughey Bale film I was talking about is Reign of Fire.
Oh, Reign of
Reign of
Fire.
Fire.
Right.
Was that another dragon movie?
That was
That
the
was
one we
the-
were talking about.
No, it wasn't. Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh my
and,
God.
And it really is. It really is a good movie, and McConaughey comes off like a total badass in it, and shaved head, Viking beard, just a a diesel dude. And in the trailer for the most recent Planet of the Apes movie that's about to come out, you can almost see that I'm not saying he did, but it looks like Woody Harrelson got his inspiration for his character from McConaughey in Reign of Fire.
I could see that.
You
Just
think
missing the hair.
you think in Reign of Fire, McConaughey had a shaved head, and Harrelson has the shaved head, and he has the beard, and he looks
what Harrelson and what?
this new
The movie
Planet of the Apes
okay.
movie.
Yeah.
What is it?
There's a new Planet of the Apes
There
movie
was
coming out.
Planet of the Apes.
I never saw
Rise-
any
Wait,
of
can we
those.
just count how many Planet of the Apes movies there are?
Too many because I haven't
There's
seen
more.
any of
There's
them.
more fingers than I have.
I believe.
Of movies.
I think you're about to be dead on, but I'm pretty sure the original there was either 5 or 7 in the original series, and then there's the 2 in the remakes, plus the Tim Burton one that came out with Mark Wahlberg.
Right.
So yes, that's 10.
That's
right?
it. That's 10.
So
yeah.
when the next one comes out, that'll be 11. So more fingers than you got.
I don't have any interest in that shit.
Oh,
It doesn't do anything for me.
wow!
I don't give a fuck.
Really?
I could
No.
not disagree.
Get your goddamn hands off me, you damn dirty ape.
didn't-
I
watch
know
the
I know
original
all
series?
the taglines and stuff, but it just doesn't do anything.
You
for
didn't
me.
watch the original series?
No, I
You
have.
didn't?
I've seen them, but
I loved them. I loved
Here's a
them.
question: did you enjoy Star Trek?
No,
No.
no.
Star Wars.
Star Wars?
I liked Star Wars. Okay, it was like okay, that was cool. That's it. Let's.
Have you
move
guys
on.
seen the movie A Boy and His Dog?
No.
No.
Oh wait, is that
The apocalyptic.
that's the guy with
the talking dog?
Don Johnson, right?
That I don't know. I
Oh, wait.
cannot confirm that.
Have you ever
Talking
seen
dog?
Mary fucking Poppins? Because that's what I'm talking about.
You just like those ponytails, man.
She doesn't have any ponytail. Jesus, getting buzzed all over the place.
Dude, you're not getting a good rap.
But dude, did you watch the Planet of the Apes and Rise of the Planet of the Apes? I thought they were both really good.
No, I haven't, and
Oh,
I don't know why. That kind of stuff doesn't appeal to me.
Give them a shot. They sort of, it feels like it's an attempt to legitimize the earlier series by making it more updated.
Can we change subjects? I want to talk about one of my favorite musician directors,
Definitely.
Rob Zombie. Rob fucking Zombie.
We're just going straight
If-
switch, huh?
Yeah, dude,
I'm
if
changing
that's,
it
if
up.
that's the direction we're swerving in, I'm on board.
All right.
House
let's
of
do
a
it.
Thousand Corpse, Devil's Rejects.
Fuck yeah.
I
Are you
love Devil's
fucking
Rejects.
kidding
Fuck
me?
yeah.
You have a director who's also
Halloween
writing the
1,
music.
Halloween 2.
That guy is a great musician, let alone writer.
He's definitely got his finger on the pulse.
He's watched a
of-
few horror stories in this time.
One or two. One or two.
I heard that he smells,
Well, with those dreads, I mean, you know.
but I like him. I like him a lot.
Smells
actually.
like what?
Like stink.
Patchouli?
Like
fucking
roses
dirt.
and hand grenades.
You know, I don't know. I mean, he's.
Dude,
I like him.
The Halloween remakes.
Probably smells like Sherry.
Like
Moon.
every time
so
a Rob
good.
Zombie song or a White Zombie.
Wow, I was about to say something really offensive about that. I'm gonna back. Love you, Rob. Love you, Sherry.
Yes.
No
Both of
offense.
you.
No offense from what was about
Yeah,
to come
I
out of
love
my
You can
brain.
still invite me to your birthday party. Don't worry, Rob.
But boy, Sherry Moon is a beautiful
Yeah,
woman.
she's hot.
She's gorgeous, and Rob Zombie is like what he's such
He's a badass. He's a badass.
He's so creative
He's very creative.
and original. I
Yeah.
mean, when he sort of came out and went from being Rob Stryker, which is, you know, his parents aren't named Zombie.
No.
His just like Joe
Did you know
Strummer's
he
parents are
started
not
out-
named Strummer.
He started out as a postal bike in a bike delivery guy for
And was
Post
an- and was-
in New York City.
And was an art school student.
Yeah.
And he
I mean,
also did porn layouts for Dirty Magazines
That's-
back
Mhm.
during the White Zombie days.
so it all adds
he
up.
did the graphic. He was going to be I think he was slated to be a graphic designer.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Super
that's where
beast.
the layouts and stuff came out, and sort of did. He took that artistic instinct that led him into graphic design.
Well, here's a question for you: White Zombie or Rob Zombie?
White Zombie for sure.
Yeah,
For
I'm gonna,
me.
yeah.
I like
I
them
mean-
both.
I mean,
I
either
do
one.
Too. I do too.
I fucking yeah.
But
Love both of
that
them.
it's obviously gonna have a place in my heart because I saw White Zombie live.
Oh, fuck you.
And with Sean on bass and Jay
Sean Usal.
playing guitar. Yeah, I mean they were so great live.
What year was that?
At the long ago,
The
in the way
before times?
back in the before
That was
times.
the early
It was
90s,
Yeah,
right?
it was the 90s. Couldn't give you a dead on year, but it was obviously.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm jealous.
A long time ago, but man, what a performer!
Mhm.
And knew all about how much the experience and the visual element plays into just the music.
Well, when
Yeah,
he met,
for
also
sure.
when he met John Five. I mean, come on, fucking John Five.
Who's John Five?
He's the guitarist who's played with Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson. I forget who else.
Should I know that? I
Please,
don't know
please
that.
let me know if there's somebody else.
I would say you almost should, just because he's a very
He's
hard,
the
very
guy.
heavy metal guitarist that plays a telly.
Yeah.
And as a Telecaster
Oh,
player,
shit.
He's like
wow.
a hardcore metal version of Joe Satriani.
he's the guy who manages to pull that same aggressive sound that you do out of a classic, 50s and 60s
Yeah, no, he
model
plays the old
guitar.
stuff. Yeah,
But
he plays something you would not see in a normal metal show, and just like, how does that work?
Right.
But he
yeah,
makes it work.
I mean, he's got a signature Telecaster.
Mhm.
He's definitely
It's funny. I've Googled like
his pictures on the in Guitar Center in San Jose, they have the images of artists that,
Right.
that sort of they rep or whatever.
Mhm.
John Five's one of them, and he's on the front of also love Guitar Center. As far as
Will you stop plugging?
not
companies
they
here?
are not a
He's plugging like
sponsor.
a butt plug.
They are not a sponsor, but dude, is there a more fun place to like roller aside from
You're asking a drummer that.
a music?
Why would you not want to go into a room full of fucking cool
shit you can't
that
afford?
you can sit there all day, every day,
Yeah.
and play whatever the fuck you want. Nobody's gonna kick you
No,
out
I'm
or
like
whatever.
Garth from Wayne's World, just like I just play drums a little bit.
It's like an amusement park for musicians. They'll let you fuck around all day. So
Sorry, sir, no stairway to heaven.
good. We've got to have rules.
Yes.
We have to have limits.
Yes.
No stairway to heaven. But
I've been kicked
but-
out of my fair share of music stores.
but
Or Hairway to Steven.
dude, in Butthole Surfers,
Thank you.
nice reference. Dude.
There you
But
go.
God damn.
Listen to the Butthole Surfers.
At a certain point, we're gonna have to get in deep with QB because they're Tex guys too, right?
They are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jeff Pincus, the bass player for Butthole Surfers. What am I going to say? Oh my god, I just died. Like he used to work. I don't know if he worked at the Red Eyed Fly down in Austin on Red River Street or not. I think he did, but he was always there, and I saw him all the time, and we used to bullshit a little bit, not a whole lot. I can't say that I'm like super acquainted with him or anything, but I've definitely met him and I've definitely hung out with him before. What was my point? I've completely lost track.
Exactly.
Blah, 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 blah.
Butthole Surfers.
Butthole
Let's
Surfers
take
are
more
great.
shots. That'll help.
All right, yeah.
That's-
that's a
Yeah,
good
that
idea.
seems to be the
Let's,
motto
yeah.
of the podcast.
Uno mas.
Okay, we'll do it.
One more shot.
All right.
Yeah, because you know what? Breaks aren't the only place where things can get sideways.
That's right.
I do, but on a totally serious note, because I feel like there's such a unique artistic experience that got way less credit for how different they made things. I do at some point want to seriously get into
Have a Butthole
the
Surfers
Butthole
cover.
Surfers. Gibby Haynes,
Man.
who's worked with Ministry. He's a very unique and creative dude.
And coming back around.
Guar. Real quick, let me
Okay,
just ask
because
you,
I'm right here. I'm with you.
No, I'm
I'm with
asking
you.
you a question.
Yes.
Much like the Butthole Surfers, Guar was
Yeah.
this unique artistic experience, and you have a connection to Guar. Do you not?
Yeah. Well, the thing is like Guar, the bass player for Rigor Mortis, ended up being the bass player for Guar.
Right.
Brutus the Almighty, or Brutus the Beefcake, or
The
I
Beefcake?
think
That's a
The
wrestler.
Beefcake?
I'm pretty sure Brutus
Of all
Beefcake
names,
was a
really?
pro
I think it's
wrestler,
Brutus
but-
Beefcake.
That's a
Or-
pro wrestler.
was it?
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Beefcake the Almighty.
Okay, there
I think
we
it's
go.
Beefcake all the Almighty. I can't remember.
Did
Casey,
he like Judas
That
Priest?
sounds
Casey
right.
Orr
I'm
from-
pretty sure he had a cod
is
piece.
gonna fucking kill me if he.
Casey.
'cause I should fucking know
I'm
this.
apologizing for your friend.
Jesus Christ. Anyway,
Don't worry, Beefcake.
Yeah, so Texas metal. I mean, it's all right there.
Texas
you know?
is fucking legit, man. It doesn't get the credit that it deserves as far as being a hotbed of musical inspiration and unique qualities. Texas is a bitch, man. Texas is its own thing.
Well, if you think from the 60s...
There's a reason Texas has this big dick swinging and wants to, like, secede from the Union and thinks it's, like, its own country. It's because Texas is fucking awesome.
Well, let's hear this from the one Texan that we know in the group right now.
What people don't understand about Texas is... The thing about Texas is...
Steers and queers.
Once beers, steers, and queers.
Go on.
Once you're... Or not once you're a Texan, but if you're a Texan, there's nothing else but being a Texan.
A Texan.
You know what I mean?
Don't tread on me.
It goes with the territory. It's like being from, hey, I'm from Hawaii, bro. You know, that's your,
let's get that
that's
straight.
your identity.
It's not bro, it's brah.
Or brah, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, and you're dead right, because everybody who I've ever met who's lived in in Hawaii for even a moment
Local.
identifies as being Hawaiian, and they won't stop. They're like fucking Canadians.
Right.
Hawaiians are like, and I don't mean people born and bred in Hawaii. I mean anybody who's ever lived in Hawaii won't stop talking about.
Well, for me, Hawaii is like a tiny America, just like on itself. Like everybody comes and kind of comes to that from Japan or fucking China or fucking America or Mexico, and they all kind of like they group up and it's like they pretend like they're locals. But
man, when you got to go on and on and on and on and on about how awesome your spot is, it reeks of insecurity.
Yeah,
I'm like you. Are you afraid people think your place sucks?
Being a proponent,
it doesn't. It doesn't. Canada doesn't suck. Hawaii doesn't suck. But the way that they go on and on about it makes me think that they're like really trying to prove something.
Come on, bruh.
The funny thing is,
I've never gotten that from Texas.
The funny thing is like if you live in Texas and you're from Texas and you've been in Texas and
I'm sorry, Chris. Really?
Texas pride somehow reeks of confidence.
There's a certain
Friday night lights.
It doesn't reek of insecurity. It reeks of confidence.
Shh. The thing is it's not Texans being proud of because we're fucking Texas. It's because Texas represents it encompasses this whole fucking thing of this certain type of lifestyle,
a mindset
that other people don't understand. Just the same way that, like, if you're a surfer in Hawaii and you're a local and you're a bra or whatever, and it's the same exact fucking thing. Like, you grew up there, you understand what the fuck it's about. You know what I mean?
And those are the guys
Texas is just cooler doing that.
Those are the guys who don't come off as insecure about Hawaii or the surfers because they know. They don't have to prove it. They know their surf is better. Australia knows their surf is better. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a completely different thing. Australian surfers and California surfers are completely different.
We were talking about Hawaiian versus Australian.
Exactly.
So, the surf communities there don't come off as though they're trying to prove something because they don't have to. They know. Right. They're like, yeah, we're legit. We're the shit. Whether you acknowledge it or not. I don't care. I know it's a fact.
Yeah.
And Texas is kind of the same way where they know that we represent the more conservative leaning things, the more liberal leaning. Texas is all encompassing.
Corpus Christi.
You got Dallas.
Corpus Crispy.
Dude, in Texas,
I got kicked out of Corpus.
Corpus Crispy.
I was banned in Corpus, not
Christi,
me, but our band.
Christi.
The band that I was in was banned in Corpus Christi from playing ever again.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you have the Ozzy story.
Yeah.
I can't remember why it was.
That means you're that badass.
I don't remember why it was. I think it was because we had the Satan's cheerleaders who were ripping up the Bibles on stage. But I'm not positive.
These are the girls who were getting
in the Bible Belt of America.
The hailing when you drop trout.
Yeah, exactly.
And chode.
Yeah.
This was drop trout days?
Yeah, this was when...
I'm not gonna lie, I've dropped trout a few times, but not live on stage. Applause to you, my sir.
Yeah, no. Army goes big dig swinging. He's not afraid.
I'm just stupid.
Give a fuck.
I'm stupid.
That's not stupid.
That's all it is. I'm just dumb. Jesus Christ.
But Texas really does have a representation of all the different factors of our society. I mean, they're super liberal, super super conservative.
Right.
That Texas is a little bit of everything. And so, of course, when you stuff all those thoughts and ideas and ideologies into one place, you're going to come up with something new and unique.
So when I think Texas...
Like the Butthole Surfers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is just... It's boom. You put
Texas
that much
barbecue
pressure.
and jalapenos. That's what I think of Texas. That's what comes to mind when I think Texas.
I just like bacon.
And bacon. Bacon is a big substitute there. I mean,
Texas jalapenos and bacon.
That's right.
I believe that's
have
what
you guys heard of the Armstrong sandwich?
The Armstrong sandwich.
I just like bacon.
The Armstrong sandwich, if nobody knows, is San Francisco sourdough
San
bread.
Francisco?
San Francisco sourdough bread, mayonnaise, lettuce, cheddar cheese,
And a heavy issue of...
jalapenos.
Oh,
Anyway,
We had a blast tonight.
thank you guys so much for listening.
Please write us and tell us what you think, what you hate.
at...
Chris, how can people
Hammer.
get a hold of us?
Well, if you do want to write us, like Ross was just, or should I say, Big Daddy Ross,
Big Daddy
the
Ross.
boss's boss,
Thank you.
the man with the plan who knows where to stand, that is Big Daddy Ross.
I do what I can.
If you want to get in touch with us, email us at AnvilHammerHatchet@gmail.com. We've got a website. It's AnvilHammerHatchet.com. It's pretty fucking
Pretty
simple.
simple.
Facebook, Twitter, all that shit, Instagram.
Hey, say that one more time for the stoners out there.
The email address is AnvilHammerHatchet@gmail.com.
And if you don't know how to spell anvil, it's ANVIL.
And more importantly, if you don't know how to spell hatchet, it's
You're a dipshit.
Well, you should be on the internet in general.
Yeah,
so.
and do your research into Native American culture. But it's HATCHET. There is a T in hatchet.
We got Big Papa Ross. We got Chris. And we got Armstrong.
Army. If there's anything you want us to discuss, if there's anything you need us to detail, if there's questions, anything,
throw a fucking topic out there, and if you want
Let
to
us
hear
know.
us to hear talk about it, we'll fucking talk about it.
yeah, it's AnvilHammerHatchet@gmail.com. Our website is AnvilHammerHatchet.com. There's social media out there. If you want to look us up on SoundCloud, there will be links being posted on Instagram, on Twitter, on Snapchat, all that stuff. Those will link to a SoundCloud page where you can stream the episode. So, yeah, just follow us, man. That's the easiest thing to do is just follow us.
Or send us a fucking message. If you know us personally, just send you can send me a message. You can send Chris a message. You can send Ross a message if you know us personally, and we're happy to throw that shit up and we'll talk about it on the show.
An even easier way to do it is if you don't feel like typing, if you don't feel like following, if you don't feel like liking.
But don't be a fucking baby. Just fucking do it.
Work, come on. But worst case scenario, you can always just call us because we do have a Google Voice number. So,
and what's our
the Google Voice number? Is that what you're about to say? Man, these breaks are getting more and more intense.
What's the Google Voice number, Chris?
We do have a Google Voice number, so you can just leave us a voicemail, ask us a question, and we will address anything you bring up.
What's that number?
The number's 831-216-6958.
Thank you.
Again, that is 831-216-6958. That number is 831-216-6958. So if you want to leave us, if you have a question, or if there's our buddy Keith, who is a listener, had a question today about Dave Mustaine.
Leave it on the voicemail.
Did we not?
We addressed it.
Yeah, we addressed it. Army, we will address any questions you leave us on
Any
that.
goddamn question.
So yeah, if you want to participate, go ahead, man. Leave us a voicemail.
We don't give a fuck what it's about.
Send us an email, AnvilHammerHatchet@gmail.com. I mean, we see all the emails. If you email AnvilHammerHatchet@gmail.com, we'll respond to it. We definitely will.
One of us dipshits will.
There definitely will be one asshole who responds to your comments. So, get in contact with us. Let us know what you want us to talk about. This is obviously we go in way different directions all day, every day.
All day, every day.
All day, every day. But we'll get to it. Even if we go super sideways off the rails, we're gonna address your stuff
For sure.
So just get in touch. Instagram, whatever. If we're posting our recordings to SoundCloud. It's we don't have our entire discography.
It's a pretty big collection.
That's right, but the weekly episodes are up there, and all of our social media links are on the right hand side of the page. So if you're not on Twitter but you are on Instagram, whatever your social media outlet is, you can always go to the SoundCloud post and link up with us that way, and ask us stuff. We're definitely more than happy to address any issues or questions or talk about any topics that you want to talk about.
We'll talk about anything.
God damn, do I have a list of things that we've been trying to get to for
we
the
haven't
last
even got
3
to a lot
weeks.
of the things.
My list, we've gotten to none of them. So that's
we got to all the things on my list today.
Good for you. Well, good for you.
All right. Hey, you guys.
Kudos.
Thank you for listening.
Yes, we're out of here.
We will see you next week or
Please,
very soon.
give us suggestions on what you want us to drink or what you want us to say. Let us know. And we'll be
Don't
back
tell
next
us what to drink. Don't tell me what
No,
to fucking
that's a
drink.
good one.
Please don't ask us to do heroin on the air. We're not going to do
It's not gonna
that.
happen.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, the breaks are gnarly. They're never going to be that gnarly. Well,
No, they're not.
you
They're
can't
not.
speak to the future. All right, people.
All right, have a good night.
And we will see you next week. Thank you for listening. For Big Daddy Ross, the boss's
Here I
boss. For Chris
Army
Armstrong. Well, and there's me.
And Chris.
And Chris.
There's,
And just Chris.
There's Chris. So, yeah.
The man himself behind the dials.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.